Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Everton versus Wolves. Sunday in a must-win game for the Toffees. Let's get it right. The results were kind to us in the midweek. And, we've got to get something. We've got to get 3 points here to get us, get us away. Because a couple of wins in the next home games, if we could do that, would be absolutely huge for us. Because teams at the bottom are not winning. We've got all these games in hand. But obviously this weekend, going into this game, we could be in the bottom three again. So this is a huge game, isn't it? It really is.
So it's week 29 of Ultimate Fan and the pack has dropped. It is time to find out who I've got this week. Here we go. Right, the free base pack, the one you get for free every single week if you download the Ultimate Fan app. That's who I've got. I have got Romero from Tottenham. Tottenham playing twice this week. I've got Gomez from Liverpool. Liverpool playing twice this week. And I've got Manchester United as my team. There you go. Right, here comes the gold pack. $4.99 a month. You get 2 guaranteed gold cards and a silver card plus other special offers. Here we go. I have got Johnny Evans from Leicester. I have got Thiago from Liverpool. That's not a bad midfielder. And I have got Gundogan from Manchester City. There you go, not bad at all. Also, I have got a free winners card this week because I won my mini group. So let's see who I got. I got Veltman from Brighton. There you go. You can go in the squad. Right, it is time to pick my squad. So obviously very heavy Manchester City. Harry Kane obviously scored a couple of goals last week as well. He's banging form. Do I change that team whatsoever? I look at the squad and I just think, is there anyone else who can go in there and make a difference? Oh, I'm not sure. I think Mason Mount back in a little bit of form. Do I put him in for Phil Foden? Phil Foden's playing well. Mo Salah hasn't been scoring goals of late, but Liverpool got a game against Brighton, so I expect them to win that game. Mahrez, you know what? I'm going to put Mahrez as a forward, so I'll have to take Kane or Salah out. I don't know. Do you know what? I'm going to put Mahrez in, and I'm going to take out Mo Salah. There you go. Mahrez is in, and I'm going to give him the golden boot. He's in the team. There you go. Don't forget, get your team picked by 12:30 Saturday afternoon. That is the deadline. The games run till Thursday next week. Everton are playing Newcastle. So make sure you check out, before you pick your team, make sure you check out how many games some of your players have got this week. That might help you in picking your side. And if you haven't downloaded the Ultimate Fan app, make sure you go and do it now. The link is in the description. There you go.
Yeah, it's a massive game, and we've had some tricky games of late, but the home game, the start of 2 home games in 4 days, Everton have got to press that home advantage. We have 4 home games under Frank Lampard, in 2 in the cup and 2 in the league, and we won 3 of them, and we were unlucky to lose to City. So at Goodison we've been okay. We've looked quite good. Away from home is a different story. So I'm hoping that Wolves have just smashed Watford 4-0. I'm hoping that they've not had much rest,
Tied them out,
and we can just have the edge over them and get the 3 points, because I think it's set up that Newcastle game brilliantly, and I think it alleviates a lot of fear and worry for everybody, just to get that winning feeling back again, because it's, had we have had a different opposition against City, I think we'd have won that day. And then maybe gone to Spurs and you lose, you come back home. But because we haven't won for a couple of weeks, people are nervous again.
Well, it is about momentum, isn't it? And we haven't had any momentum, but like you just said there, 3 wins out of 4. Okay, a couple of them in the FA Cup, but it doesn't matter. You're at home. You're trying to build something at home. At least give fans something to cling on to. The away record's it's not just a record. It's the way we play in away games. It's just shocking. It really is. But at least if you can give fans something to cling on at home, that would be a huge boost. Expect 2 home games now. If we can win this one, take us into the second one. then people, well, they won't listen. No one will rely on the home form. No one will hang their hat on the home form. But they'll know that at least that when we go and the fans play their part in it, that you're going to get some kind of response. And that's what we need this week again, don't we? We need a response. We've just had 2 defeats in the Premier League by 2 better teams with more clinical sides. Against Wolves, I do think there's an opportunity. Listen, Wolves had lost their 3 games before they played Watford, hadn't they? So they didn't score a lot of goals till they played Watford. But I do believe they're there for the beating. You know, they're there to be beaten if we turn up, if we work hard, if we're a little bit organised. Because ultimately that's what this Wolves side is. It's organised. And look where they are in the league. They don't score loads of goals. They've got talented players, of course. They've got talented players. But they're, more than anything, they're organised. And that's what Everton have got to be. That's what Everton have got to be at home. And the irony is, the last game out against Manchester City at home, against, you know, the best team in the country, we looked organised, but one little mistake cost us on the night. And if we can be like that on Sunday, then I think it's a huge opportunity.
It is. Wolves are a good side, you know, they are, and they're tough to beat. You know, they'd lost the last couple of away games, but that was as many as they'd lost in the previous 11. So they are durable, but they're also, you can get at them. And like I said, I'm hoping that Thursday night has just took a little bit out of them. I know they won 4-0, but it's still a game, and you've got a day's rest, a day's training, you're playing again. It can work the other way. Sometimes momentum can keep you going, but for us, it's on us. Wolves are very much safe, no worries there. We'll finish, I imagine, in the top 10 comfortably. So for Everton, it's all on us. You know, the other way round, you'd be looking, thinking, this is a must-win for them, and for us, is it really? And that's the way I'm looking at it for them. But it's got to be about Everton. We play like we did against Leeds, play like we did against City. I think we'll have enough to beat them. Like I said, it's a difficult game. We do have some really good players, but we've got to start winning football matches, and most teams are difficult to play against in the Premier League. So it's about us.
It is going to be interesting because obviously Wolves have some really good footballers. They, you know, really good on the ball. They've got a good target man. You know, they must be one of the best teams in the last 3 or 4 years for scoring goals outside the box. Yeah. You know, the amount of goals they score that have come. You know,
Neves,
Martinho. You know, these kind of players. They've been fantastic. You've got to be very wary of them. And it'll be interesting to see how Everton approach it. Whether we let them have the ball, which is what I thought we should have done with Spurs. You know, and then you know, let them have the ball a little bit and then press them high and try and catch it up there. It'd be interesting to see what we do tactically, because we have tried to match up, haven't we, with teams? We've tried to take the game to the opposition so far, and certainly away from home, that's what's caught us out, hasn't it? But at home, it has given us something to get behind, because obviously the crowd are going to be huge on Sunday once again. The manager said it in his press conference. He said, you know, I'm not making a rallying call, you know, because I know that they'll be there, and it will be interesting just to see the thought process going into the tactics.
I think at home, I think he wants to play like that, and I think we want to play like that, don't we? We want to be the team that's attacking and going at teams. Away, I think, just right now with this set of players, not athletic enough. As Jamie Carragher said the other night, there's no athleticism in the side, so if you're playing that kind of game and the ball breaks down, you're in trouble. You're the wrong side of the ball because you can't recover. It's not quite the same at Goodison with the crowd. We seem to be able to manage it under Frank Lampard better, but Wolves do like to have a lot of the ball. And that's it. For me, it simply comes down to working hard against them. If we match them and work as hard as we have done in the previous home games, and then we'll be all right. We do have quality in the final third. Got Damari Gray back, Richie's there, Dom's there. We've got Dele Alli to come on, Anthony Gordon. You know, we have got players who can hurt them in that final third. It's, can we be tight defensively? That's the big thing. That's a big thing for everybody. And then in midfield, we've got to be combative and make sure that we don't give Ruben Neves too much room on the ball to be able to switch it. get people running in, you know, Nori running in one side, Johnny running in the other. He's back from injury now, Bowley's back as well for them. So we know it'll be tough, but, you know, we have beat them in the last couple of seasons around. They've always been tight games. To be fair, all the games against them have been quite tight, really. And I imagine Sunday will be no different, but we've got to ensure we're the team that comes out on top. And I think if we do that, I think we'll set ourselves up nicely then for getting a bit of momentum going.
Yeah, I was just looking there at the possession. It's interesting. The last two games, the game against Watford, they had 66% possession at home, and the game against Crystal Palace, they had 64% possession. One they've won 4-0, and one they've lost 2-0.
Yeah.
You know, and in both games actually, they had 5 shots on target. One they lose 2-0 and one they win 4-0. So they are very much, they do play the same way.
Yeah, you know what you're getting from.
And that's listen, if you're a fan, that's great. That's great. And more if you're organised, more times more than not, then you're going to win games of football. So it is going to be a difficult game. But for us, obviously, after the other night, you know, in terms of like changes, what would you be looking at? Because there is an argument, and I know it's an argument that some of us would make. You don't have to pick the team. Would say change the whole back four, but you can't do that, can you? Let's be honest, you can't do that. So what can we do?
I think Ben Godfrey will play.
Yeah.
So it's whether he goes to 3 at the back or he keeps a flat back 4 and changes one of the back 4. I imagine if he changes one of the back 4, it'll be Michael Keane that drops to the bench. I think he'd go with Godfrey and Holgate. Is that the right decision, given Raul Jimenez is good in the air?
Yeah.
I don't know. He might go to 3 at the back. And then
he could do
3-4-3, then you're maybe losing someone in midfield. Does he go with Donny van der Beek and Decore as his 2? One's the legs and the other one's to get on the ball. Does he leave the 3 in there and go, well, we're going to play with 3, and if we go 3 at the back, then someone's missing out, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, Anthony Gordon probably missing out. So it's again, we are early into Lampard's reign, so it's
not always
it's
easy.
hard to understand his thought process. Yeah. You're absolutely right. On one hand, you want to go actually chase Seamus Coleman for this one, get Kenny out the side for this one, get Godfrey in, have Brantwaite and, you know, Godfrey, and you'd have Patterson right back and Michalenko left back.
Yeah.
But that's a whole back 4.
Yeah, it's not
and
reality.
it's not
going to happen.
It's not happening. So I imagine, like I say, if he keeps the 4, Godfrey will play regardless of what it is.
Yeah,
He talked about in his press conference. He said, I thought it was interesting. He said, when you lose, you have 2 first choice centre backs. I thought that was interesting, that he was making it no meaner than Godfrey as his first choice. Keane and Holgate.
I think we've always thought that, though.
Oh, we have, but it's just interesting to hear the manager say that. Normally you say big players or whatever, for them to come out and say when you lose your first choice, that we're left with the others, and it's not the same. So, but I think Ben Godfrey will definitely be in the side. So Wolves play 3 at the back. Will he just match it up and go, well, we're going to do what they do? My only worry with that is John Joe Kenny on the left-hand side, because it's about balance. If you're playing 3, you've got to make sure the person over on that left-hand side can get forward and put the ball in the box. I know Kenny can get forward, but everything's back onto his right foot. So the chance is gone. I know against Leeds he done a fantastic one with the outside of his foot. But in general, it breaks down. We hadn't seen him get over the halfway line against Southampton when he was there. We didn't see him get over the halfway line against City, apart from early on when he hit the side net. And you need someone. I'm not saying Michalenko bombs up and down, but naturally, if it comes to him, he can take it across his body. It's on his left foot. He can play a pass. It's whether or not he thinks I'd go for the little bit more defensive certainty from Kenny than Michalenko.
It is a tough one, because there's no one who can really come in and make that difference. There's no one who can really come in and you go straight away, he's going to be amazing. Ben Godfrey, of course, will play. But you're right, you go to 3. You go to a 3 and then you have to look at the midfield situation. The problem is with Everton, and this is the real issue, is because we don't have a holding midfielder, which is, again, I'll say it again, it's a crime that we never got brought in a proper defensive midfielder in January. The whole month, and we bought players left, right and centre, and when we needed a centre back and we needed a holding midfielder, because we don't have a holding midfielder, we never have that security in midfield. And unless he grabs hold of someone like Alan and just says, you've got to just sit in front of the back four, then we never have that security. So you never have that security to say if you are going to play a two in there, one is always going to sit and the other one could be moving. If you play, and then your full-backs can bomb forward because you've got that security. 3, you lose someone, so you want someone to step out in your defence and almost become that 3, but you can't rely on any of them. So we are where we are. He's got decisions to make, but Ben Godfrey coming back does allow to be a little bit more of a higher line, knowing that he's got the pace to get behind and be physical, and he's got big decisions to make. He really has. And then if you do go for a 3, do you change 2? Do you go for Godfrey, Branthwaite, and one other? Because there's an argument there that Branthwaite could come in as well. So especially after that performance, I mean, it wasn't just individually how they defended. It was how they defended as a unit. Yeah. How some of the goals, you freeze frame the third goal, how they're all over the place. It's just like this is something we have to massively get sorted out. You're not gonna not concede goals if you're not organised. It's just you simply have to stop teams scoring easy goals.
Catch up all the time, aren't you? You're behind and you're trying to turn games around. And early on, we had a good record of doing that. We haven't lately. No. So it is going to be dead interesting to see what he does. It really is.
Let's just have a little look at Wolves' side that faced Watford. So as you mentioned there, they played the 3-4-2-1.
But they have Podence on one side and Hwang on the other, don't they, off Jimenez. And when they played, we got beat by them at Molineux in November. Jimenez was dropping into that number 10 role. Yeah. We had, obviously, Benitez made a huge error that night and had Gbamin and Allen as just the 2 in midfield, and they just passed around us. Neither of them screened in front of the back four. So when Jimenez killed us in the opening half an hour because he was dropping into that space. And then they got 2-0 up. In the second half, Fabian Delph come on and kind of shut that down and closed that area, and we were all right from there. But it will be interesting. I mean, we could line up exactly the same and have Dom as the target man and have Gray and Richarlison, or Gordon and Richarlison off him, and Damari Gray on the bench.
See, I don't think he'll drop Gordon, because I think the reason why he won't drop Gordon is because, number one, he's been doing more than anyone else. But I do think having Gordon in the side gives the crowd that lift that it needs at times when he goes and chases, which other players might not do.
Talking about Damari Gray, he's a big player. So then
I know.
So what do? Do you take Dom out and go with a fluid, mobile front?
See, I wouldn't have Dom in the team, and I know that sounds, again, that's like counterproductive, but I just wouldn't have him in this. We've stopped crossing the ball, and if we're not crossing the ball and we want him in the box.
On the numbers game this week, I've done the pressing numbers from the front, and Richarlison, Anthony Gordon, people like that. Ironically, Gray's not brilliant at that, but those two really are. So if Dom doesn't press anymore because he's just being told to stay in the middle. So if you're talking about trying to catch them out high up the pitch, you want 3 fellas who are going to put them on, and then you'd have to say to Gray, right, you've got to do the same what them two are doing. Richarlison done it really well against City, so did Anthony Gordon, so did Iwobi, to be fair. You have to do the same, so maybe Alex Iwobi will play. All his Premier League goals have come against Wolves. So
come against Wolves.
There you go.
Let's have a little look at Raul Jimenez, because coming back this season has made such a big difference. From such a bad injury.
He's the focal point, isn't he?
26 appearances, 23 starts, 6 goals, 3 assists, 1.8 shots per game. He's the focal point, isn't he? He's the out ball. He's the one they play through. The drop downs for the technical plays in between, in behind, the runners. He does it superbly. Again, when he came to Wolves, people were like, "Oh, he hasn't really done much yet." He scored on his debut against Everton, straight away in that 2-2, which Richarlison got the goals in.
No, he's been fantastic signing for them. Wasn't the most prolific in Portugal, but has come in and has been superb since he's been here. And I think he's scored in all 5 games against Everton so far. I think only Mo Salah has got a better record in the Premier League. He got 6 and 6 against Bournemouth. So Jimenez is, up there, so hopefully Everton will make sure it isn't 6-6 against us on Sunday.
Let's hope so.
But he is a top player.
We have to, we've got to kick the week off the right way, haven't we? We've got to get the points. We've got to start the week to give us that momentum going into the Newcastle game. Because if we can do that, we can get a little bit of daylight between us and those teams, put pressure on the likes of Leeds, the likes of Brentford, still have those, still have a couple of games in hand that we look at, and just create some positivity, and get rid of that anxiety as well, which is all hanging over us, because let's be honest, it's hanging over all of us at the moment. We know it's not great, but let's just hope we can get something. Let's hope we can get the 3 points, and the crowd does its bit, and we're and then this time next week we're sitting here hopefully talking about 2 positive results going into that quarter-final against Crystal Palace.
Absolutely. Following a 2-1 win at Molineux in November, Wolves are looking to complete their first league double over Everton since 1972-73. Great. Since the start of 2021, when Everton lost 2-1 at home to West Ham. No, did we lose 2-1? Lost 1-0, didn't we? Lost 1-0, that's incorrect. No team has lost more Premier League home games than the Toffees. 13. Scandalous, isn't it? Everton have lost their last 3 Premier League games by a score of 8-0. They last had a longer run of consecutive league defeats without scoring a single goal between August and October 6. Collectively, Everton players have made 8 errors leading to a goal in the Premier League this season, more than any other side in the competition.
Grim. It's all grim. It's all grim.
But Alex Iwobi scored in every game against them.
There you go. That's the
and
positive.
That's what you've
Having Reddit on the bench.
And he's also scored a shot for Arsenal. So that's what it's about.
There you go. He loves playing against Wolves, but we don't love him playing for Everton. There you go.
He's all right. He's all right.
He's crap.
He's okay.
He's okay. He's not. He's one of the worst signings in Everton's history, along with Michael Keane. There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. It's true. It's just a fact. It's a factual fact. Hit those 2 and Cenk Tosun. Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity.
Pound for pound.
Pound for pound. 3 of the worst players in Everton's history. I can't wait to see the back of all 3 of them. There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. I wanted to finish on a positive thought.
Sounded like it. Up the
There you go. Don't forget, if you want daily live videos, join us on Patreon. There's a QR code. We've gone all 21st century. Just scan it and take it over to Patreon. Make sure you check that out. And don't forget to download the Ultimate Fan app as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.